Hello, it is Tracy with Totally Trace. I am here to show a new card kit. For those of you that were expecting me at 5:30, I am so sorry. A cold front decided to hit right at dismissal time for my school. And if you've never experienced that, having to try and get 700 to 800 kids home safely without getting wet and not getting the staff wet, it can be quite a mess. So I got out of work an hour late, and then of course when it rains, people forget how to drive. I'm sure all of you have experienced that. So it was an extra trip home too. So I do apologize for being late tonight. Hopefully you saw my post that I would be starting at 6. All right, but enough of that. Let's get to crafting. So I have been featuring the terrific toadstools for the past 2 weeks. I promised you that during celebration every 2 weeks, I would feature something new. So this was the feature for last 2 weeks. I do still have this kit available. You'll make 6 cards with it. The cost is $14 plus shipping. For those of you that have ordered it, my goal is to get everything finalized. All the kits are made. I just need to stuff them in envelopes and get shipping tags sent out. So hopefully they will be in the mail for you tomorrow. And then you are making these 6 cards. Wait, I can't just set that down because it's a fun fold. So I've got to show you that part. So these are the 6 cards you'll make. You get all the supplies needed, the paper, the gems. The cardstock is prepped for you. It is already cut. This was the one I wanted to pop up for you. The only thing that you'll need is the stamps and the inks, and of course just some basic tools like a paper trimmer, glue dots, things like that. All right, but tonight I am moving on to a brand new class. So this card class to go is using the Delightful Wishes bundle, or actually it's a suite because it comes with the ribbon, die cuts, everything. So tonight I'm going to be making 3 cards. The kit does make 5 cards, but I'll show you the other 2 next week. So you can join me at 5:30, fingers crossed that it's not raining again next week. So if you join me at 5:30 next week, you'll see the other 2. If you are interested in this kit, the link is in the comment section. But I'm going to get started so you can see what this is all about. So first, let me show you the gorgeous paper. So again, this is the Delightful Wishes Suite. I think the paper might be called Floral Delight sounds right. And it is gorgeous paper. And if you follow me, you know that I am not necessarily a yellow fan, but this could be changing my mind. And there's the neutral side, although I'm loving this too. So that is the paper that we're going to be working with. And then part of your kit, you'll get the brushed brass butterflies. Ooh, say that 3 times fast. You'll get 8 of those, and then you'll get 3 feet of the Daffodil Delight ribbon, which is a really nice thin ribbon. I love how it lays on cards. And then, and then you'll have some scrap white paper to do some extra stamping on. Let me just get all this out. And then you'll have 5 envelopes tonight. I just have 3 because I'm only going to be showing you 3 of the 5 cards in this class to go. All right, let me get that out of the way. So how about we start with a fun fold? All right, so let me grab everything. This is exactly, if you have not ever gotten a kit from me, this is exactly what it looks like. Oh, good morning, Carrie. I'm glad you could make it even though I changed the time on you last minute. All right. So let me show you this fun fold. Okay, so it looks like this on the outside, and then it's going to open up like that. So that is what we're making today. And I'm going to say all these measurements fast. So if you're like, how would I ever keep up with that? It's okay because your card kit also comes with a PDF that has all the measurements and all the directions for you. So I'm going to try and remember what I have. This is a 9.5 by 5.5 sheet of paper, and I have scored it. Oh, brother, I've already lost my sheet of my scoring. So I believe it was, here, I'm going to do it really quick. Okay, 4 1/4, then 5.5, and then I think it was 7.5. Yep, 7.5, and then that's it. So that's the scoring. Okay, so, and now we'll see if I can remember how to fold it. I'm going to have to cheat here. Ah, that's the one that's going the wrong way. Okay, so there's my folds. So now we're going to decorate. So let's see. I'm going to use a neutral side. There's the one I want. And I'm going to do 5 1/4. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just cut 3/4 off right now. So it'll be 5 1/4 all my other ones. And then I want them to be 1 inch. And hopefully this is correct since I've placed my PDF somewhere on this desk and I'm not seeing it at the moment. All right. Okay, so those, one is going to get glued here, and then this is going to be the inside of the card that's going to get glued like this, and you'll glue the other one right over top. Okay, but I'm going to do some stamping there, and you should know I never glue until my stamping is done. But I'll get this one done so it's out of my way and it doesn't get lost in my mess. There we go. And then we're just going to glue this down. So it's kind of a play on that book binding folds, but I just created another fold on top of it. Okay. So now on the inside, so something I love about this stamp set is I love that huge wishing, and then you've got all these sentiments with it. So I'm going to stamp that, and I'm going to do it in Old Olive. So with this paper, all the yellows look good. Lemon Lolly, which, gosh, when that first came out, I thought, what were they thinking? That is the ugliest color I've ever seen. And look, now I'm using it with this and I like it. Daffodil Delight, Crushed Curry is in this set. And then Balmy Blue, Old Olive, and even, what's the in color? Peach. I'll have to, I'll be stamping with it tonight. So once I have it out, I can show you. All right. Now I'm going to stamp the You All the Best, but of course you could say happy birthday, wishing you were here, any of them. Oh, and then I grabbed you were here. I want all the best. And I'm stamping it on the Lemon Lolly, so I'm going to use Crushed Curry, I think. Actually, no. Let's try Daffodil Delight. We'll see if that's dark enough. And that's what I grabbed. Okay. Yes, that's the color I wanted. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut that. And that is going to get laid right over the G like that. And then we'll glue that here. Now my wishing is a little crooked, so this is where I am going to flip it over and just try again. And if it's crooked again this time, I'm laying it down. Sorry if you're getting like my nose or something in there. With that camera, it's hard for me to see if I'm straight. That looks a little better. Oh, Finn agrees if you can hear him crying. I've been out of town for the past 4 days. And so my cats are very happy to see me. They have not left me alone. I just got home from work and they're, if you could see the camera, all 3 of them around. And so Finn is crying in the background like, hey, I hear you talking. Why aren't you talking to me? Why aren't you giving me attention? All right, and then we're going to glue this inside the card. Just like that. Okay, so next, this is that Memorable Blooms Big Die. So I'm using that. And then the Delightful Wishes bundle comes with all these things to make daisies. I think they're daisies. You can tell me if I'm wrong. So I'm actually going to use this one. This is a really fun way to add some texture. I've already cut this out for you. And then you can cut flowers or you can stamp flowers. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create the stem on here. And then I'm going to stamp some flowers. So in your kit, you do have scrap paper to do the flowers. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to stamp. Let me see. So this is a 2-step stamp. So it's going to give you some dimension, which I absolutely love. That is one of the reasons I went with Stampin' Up. I'm sure everybody's doing that now, but years and years and years ago when I first became a demonstrator, they were the only stamping company that did that. And I love it, and it's still one of my favorite things about Stampin' Up. So I'm going to stamp the more solid one with Lemon Lolly. So the lighter color. And then I'm going to do the one that is not solid in Daffodil Delight. All right, and now I'm not going to lie to you. This is one that it took me a while to figure out how to get it to lay correctly. And since it's a few days since I've used it, we'll see if I really remember. I think it's always the opposite of what I want to do. So let me turn it this way. Yes, so I don't know if you can tell, but that one actually goes, I always want to put it here, but it actually goes at the other ends. Okay, and again, the camera is right in the way, so I'm not going to be able to lay it right on top, but you're going to see it doesn't matter. Like, it's very forgiving. Okay, so now the best part is I am just going to lay this over the top of it and die cut it out. So let me do that real quick. And the die is pretty easy to line up, unlike the actual 2-step stamping. And again, even if it doesn't line up, it is very forgiving. There we go. Okay. And then there's also leaves. I went ahead and I already stamped those. and I die cut them so you didn't have to wait on me, and I did it in Old Olive. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of play where I want everything to go. So these are stuck together, so and how about, I'm kind of copying mine, and you can see that one, it's got a lot of white edge to it. So I'm going to kind of cover that up. And nobody will even know. And actually, let's see. Okay, I'm going to lay it something like that. So let me get it glued down. So the first thing I want is this. Got to be really good with the green glue on this one. Super thin. And I am going to purposely leave some of this off. Okay. And then I'm going to start gluing these. So I'm going to glue all my leaves, and most of my flowers will get popped up. I did follow the rule of threes here. I chose 3 leaves just to do that odd number. I think my flowers might be even, but that's all right. I'm going to put a butterfly on there to kind of make that odd out. Okay, and then we're just going to pop up flowers. Mm-hmm. All right, this one I'm going to glue down. Maybe. Oh, there we go. And this one I'll pop up over it. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut off this extra branch. I just love the way that looks. I love this stem in this set. All right, and then in your kit, you have the brushed brass butterflies. So these are on Celebration right now. So they're in, I think it's the normal catalog, but they're giving it to you for free with a $60 purchase. And then, of course, remember, if you place a $60 order, you get this kit for free. And if you don't want to order, that's okay. The kit is, I should have looked it up, $15 or $16 plus shipping. All right, on the front of this, I'm going to put lots of love. And so I'm just going to use this scrap, and I'm going to stamp it in the Old Olive. Okay, and then that is just going to go right there. And I think I'm gluing that straight down too. Okay, So that is going to go to the front of the card to make that little pull. And you can see it looks nice just like that, but I loved this being behind it. And then I thought it needs a little bit of texture. So that's where this comes in. And you're probably going to be like, Tracy, why did you not die cut this in advance? Because you're going to have to watch me poke all these holes. But it's such a fun punch. So let me just run it through. And I'm going to just do one on each side. Yours will already come run through. I just wanted you to see it. Well, it helps if I have all my pieces in my Big Shot. All right, I'm almost there. Okay, so see, and you can just lay it however you want. And then you'll just poke out all these pieces. Which can be tedious, but I don't know, it just gives me satisfaction to watch them all pop out. Ooh, that one doesn't want to go. I'll come back for you. There we go. Maybe that's what it is. At the end of a workday, I'm like, yes, let me pop all of these things out. Get to make a nice mess of your workspace. So I normally do this over the garbage, but then you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull these off. So this is why I normally have this done for you, because it is a little tedious. Okay, I'm just going to do the last few right off camera. All right, I think I got most of them. So you can see like the impact that makes. It just adds so much dimension. And then when we're gluing, we just got to be careful to avoid all that. All right, and then right down the middle of this, I'm just going to put the 3 Stampin' Dimensionals. Oh, look at that. How did I do that? I didn't even notice I had moved it. That's not going to work. There we go. So that is the first card done. All right. I'm just going to clean up a little bit here. Get my stamps cleaned. All right, so what do you think? Look, I used a very neutral paper on that with all this beautiful paper, and I still think it turned out so pretty. Okay, so let's do another card. All right, so we're going to do this one next. Okay, super simple layout, but I use this punch. So this die cut, it has this. Here, I guess it'll help if I hold it up over something. And then there's a thicker version too, so you can make layers. For this one, I'm only using the 1 layer. Okay, so that is going to get glued there. And then I'm going to use this old olive. And I'm just going to cut off 3/4. And then I hope I did this paper justice because I thought this was so beautiful that I hoped I was doing it right. All right, so this is 3 inches and we're going to go by 5. And actually, this one needs to go by 5 as well. Okay. So I'm going to layer this and then, oh, let's make it right side up. Like this. And I don't have to worry about it being perfect because I'm actually going to put the ribbon over it. So this is that Daffodil Delight paper. I am not gluing this yellow down because I'm going to need to hide that ribbon behind it. So let me glue the DSP down first and then I'll show you what I mean. Do I have the paper up correctly? Yes, I do. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to cut this to be just a little bit bigger. And I'm going to use tear and stick tape, something like that it's called. And just tape the edge down. Now you could also use your stamp and seal, that will work as well. So then I'm just going to do that and then fold it here and do another piece at this end. Let me just check to make sure I'm still lined up. I am. All right, now you can see it's got a little give there. So all I do is I take a mini glue dot and I just kind of roll it up so it's not a full circle. It's going to be like nice and skinny. I don't know if you can see that on my finger at all. And then lay that horizontally there. And then just stick the ribbon right to it. Just a way to get it to stay there. Now you can glue it down, but I'm actually going to pop it up. So I'm going to put 1 dimensional at each corner. Okay, so pretty. I mean, you could do that and put any sentiment you wanted, any label on there, because the paper is doing all the work. So this is a label that also comes in the die cutting set. So you're getting the flowers, you're getting the branches, you're getting the leaves. And it also has this skinny little label. And for this one, I'm going to say a happy birthday. And I'm going to stamp it in Old Olive. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my wishing and that's going to get glued on there and this will get popped up. Okay, let's see if I can reach my silicone mat here because this is so skinny. That way it ends up on my mat, not my work surface or all over my card. So can you guys hear my cat in the background? He's being very obnoxious at the moment. Okay, glue it just like that. Let's pop this up. Got some minis handy. Okay, so now the inside of my card is that old olive. So I always like to put white on the inside if it's dark. And I haven't really done any stamping, so I'm going to do some stamping on the inside. This time, I'm going to use this branch and the leaves and then this flower again. All right, so I do the branch first. It's what makes sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, you can do whatever order, but it's the easiest way for me to line it up. All right, so I'm using pecan pie. So I'm just going to stamp it here in this corner. And then I do the flowers. And so this time I'm going to do Daffodil Delight first. So this is that two-step stamping again. Look, you can look at that ink pad. How many of you have old ink pads like this? This one is really old. Okay, and I want to say it goes like this. Yeah, so on this one, that tall one goes right at the top there. And again, you'll be able to line it up much better than me, but because I've got that camera there, I'm just going to try and do my best here. Oh, it's pretty close. All right, and then I promised you I would tell you peach pie. I knew it was peach something. I always think I'm wrong, though, because of pumpkin pie, and I think surely they wouldn't name two of them pie, but they did. All right, so I'm going to lay this over. And this is the one that it's always the opposite what I think. Yep, see, I always want to do it that way, and it's really this way. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to do the leaves in Old Olive. Ta-da! And that is going to get glued right on the inside of the card. Not upside down. All right, and there is card number 2. Oh, but wait, we've got to add our butterflies. So there's a blank spot there. And then I'll put a tiny one up here. There we go. Card number 2 done. All right, and last but not least, in fact, it might be my favorite of all 3. You'll tell me if you agree. We're actually going to use 3 different papers on this one. We're using this, which I love that with the blue, and there's some vellum that goes with this suite that has the blue too that I did not get. Get it if you can, because that is one regret that I definitely have. So I'm also going to use this, and then I'm going to use that green again. Okay, so, and then we've got our label. So this is going to be the card base. So I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4 by 4. It's that 1/4 inch down of each side. Okay, by 4. So that is going to get laid there. All right, and then I've got this 1.5 inch by 3 inch, I believe it is. And then my 3.5 by 1.5, not 3. All right, and then for this, the old olive, I'm going to do 2 3/4 by 4. So I'm going to cut it this way, 2 3/4. Not sure what I've got on my old olive there. By 4, but we'll see if I can hide that some way. Okay, and so there is the basic layout. I think I'm going to lay it this way because I might be able to hide that. Oh, maybe I can hide it with ribbon if it's up in that corner. And then this is going to be, oh yeah, I can hide that. Okay, this is going to be our label. I just love the layout of this card. It's giving me like scrapbook vibes of just layering all the paper. I love when I can layer pretty paper. All right, so now I'm using the wishing again, and I'm going to do it in the old olive. I don't have any of my scrap paper out, so we'll use my silicone mat. So I'm going to stamp wishing in old olive, and my G is going to go a little bit off, but that's okay. All right. And then I'm going to say happy birthday again. We can never have too many happy birthdays. And I'm going to do, this time I think I'm going to do crushed curry. Let's make sure we can see it. Okay, I'm going to layer this right over that G. Just like that. And if that is bothering you, that G, I don't know if you can see on the camera, it didn't quite stamp. Because it's a clear stamp, I'll be able to lay it right over that and fix that mistake with no problem. I'm not going to be able to do that on camera because of that camera right in my way. I'll never be able to, because I'll have to be right over top of it. But that's an easy fix. All right, one of the flowers that comes in this stamp set is another 2-step. So it has this and this. I've already stamped it and die cut it out. And I did it in the crushed curry and the peach pie. So that's going to lay there. And I'm going to add some ribbon into it, although it looks really nice even without the ribbon. Yeah, I love this layout. Actually, it's probably the paper that I love. So let's start gluing this down. My card base is Daffodil Delight. I'm not sure if I said that or not. So just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to do some ribbon right behind that label. Okay, I'm going to lay it this way first. And look, see, I'm going to lay it right on top of that. And then we'll make a bow. Then we'll come back. And we'll put a little bit more right on top. And if needed, I can use some tape. There we go. Put a little tape over it just to make sure. It looks like it's holding pretty well though. And then I'm going to pop this up. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this end of the flower and a dimensional on the other side. And then so the glue will go right on that, and the dimensional will go on the next layer down. There we go. And there is card number 3. Everybody was very quiet today. No comments? Feel free to give me some feedback. You liked the cards? Didn't like the cards? All right, so here's all 3 that I made tonight. Remember, all 3 of these are part of a kit. The kit does make 5 cards. And then over the next 2 weeks, I will be showing you all different cards featuring this suite. And then join me next Wednesday at 5:30, where I will be showing you the other 2 cards that go in this kit. All right, thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. I will see you soon.